What's up, everybody? Welcome to Elemento Brackets. This is going to be your home for a celebration of all things NCAA basketball tournament, the greatest sporting event on the planet. My name is Jason. I'll be shepherding you through this college basketball season, doing some bracketology, bracket breakdowns of at the moment, what the bracket would look like throughout the season. We'll drop regular brackets at you, and we'll be doing something called the Perfect Bracket Project, which is going to be an attempt to do the impossible, help someone, anyone, could be me, could be you, could be someone else on this channel, pick the perfect NCAA tournament bracket. The odds are about as good as being struck by lightning 4 times in a row, but I believe, can do this. We can study the bracket, make some intense deep dives at the brackets of the past to give us some probabilities and trends to use to predict this year's tournament. But right now, I want to kick things off by giving you my preseason bracketology. You can find the full bracket at elementobrackets.com. Go there regularly for my latest brackets, plus deeper insights on the Perfect Bracket Project than I'll ever be able to deliver on this channel. But I want to give you the top 4 seeds, the top 4 seed lines, the 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s that I have in my preseason poll. And this will probably look ridiculous by the end of the year when we look back and see the chaos that unfolds over the course of the next 4 months. But here's who I have topping the bracket. Again, you can look at the full bracket at elementobrackets.com. Topping list, I've got Houston, as many people do. They bring back a ton of talent from the team that lost in the quite remarkable NCAA championship game last year against Florida, including the defensive player of the year, or should be, Joseph Tugler. I think he blocked so many shots they might as well nickname him the Lid. And they've also got Kelvin Sampson's best recruiting class in his history, and I think they will sit atop the bracket on Selection Sunday. Along with them at the 1 line, I've got Purdue, and I've got Alabama. Surprise, surprise. I think they bounced back after a bit of a down year last year. Nate Oates is a great coach, and I think he'll have Alabama rolling as long as they play some defense. Last year was a little bit shaky in that area. And then my 4th 1 seed, I've got BYU. Kevin Young, their coach, is an absolute basketball wizard, and with AJ Dybantsa, the likely number 1 pick next year, they are going to be a rising power in the Big 12 and in the college basketball landscape, and I expect them to do quite well to challenge Houston for the Big 12. I think Kevin Young gets Coach of the Year, and I think they land that last 1 seed. On the 2 line, I've got 2 SEC teams. The SEC is going to be the best conference in the land. Again, I've got Kentucky behind the veteran Otega Oweh, and I've got Florida, defending champions. They are long, they're athletic, they've got a great coach, and if Xavier Lee can be anything like Walter Clayton Jr., do not be surprised if Florida repeats. Along with them on the 2 line, I've got Duke. The Boozer brothers will take Duke into the NCAA tournament, the class of the ACC once again. And then UConn looking for the 3rd title in 4 years. Solo Ball, Alex Karabin are going to be leading that unit, and I think they will take the Big East and land a 2 seed in the tournament. 3 seeds I've got close behind UConn in the Big East will be St. John's behind Rick Pitino. They would be higher, but they have proven, based on last year, that they cannot shoot. So if they get any sort of distance shooting, they will be a dangerous team. Joining them on the 3 line, I've got Arkansas. Calipari is building the mirror image of what he had at Kentucky with freshman transfers, length, and athleticism. And I think Arkansas figures things out this year and challenges for the ACC title. The other 2-3 seeds, I've got Michigan. Michigan is the only team in the Big Ten I think could challenge Purdue. I think they're a couple rungs behind, but Yaxel Lendeborg is probably the best transfer coming into this season, and he will be a menace in the Big Ten. And then the last 3 seed, I have Kansas. A lot of people are picking Kansas to have another down year. I don't think that will happen. I think Bill Self is too good a coach. He will figure things out. And Darren Patterson will challenge Dybantsa for the freshman of the year and perhaps the number 1 pick. And I think Kansas will have a bounce back year, a great year in the Big 12. And finally, my 4 seeds. I've got Gonzaga. Gonzaga is not rated very highly, but they just learned that Ty and Grant Foster will play this year, or should be cleared to play, and that will push them into that top 4 seed line. I do not want to doubt Mark Few. He's too good a coach. And after some bumps in the early season. I think Gonzaga rolls through the West Coast Conference and lands in that top 4 seed line. In addition to them, I have Tennessee. Tennessee, I feel like this may be kind of low, and I might regret this decision. They have a roster that could challenge for a 1 seed. A lot of depth, some great freshmen, but I don't particularly like their style of play, and they typically fail and falter when it gets to the later rounds of the NCAA tournament. And the SEC is a deep conference, and one of those teams at the top will lose more games against the others than they win. And so I think that's Tennessee. And then I've got 2 West Coast teams, former conference mates, Arizona. Tommy Lloyd's got the program at Arizona rolling. And then UCLA, a bit of a surprise. I think Donovan Dent will make a splash this year. I think he's a great scorer, great player. He will challenge and perhaps be an All-American this year, maybe even challenge for Player of the Year. And so I've got UCLA at the top 4. Again, you can look at my full preseason bracket at elementobrackets.com, and I look forward to spending the season with you and getting into some college basketball action. Peace.